What update, Sonny? No. Dig the nightly chart sessions. Thanks. Yeah, I mean there's not much, but price is moving a little bit. I don't like how it's just grinding up and down here. It's like leaving a lot of lows to sweep. The price action is not really impulsive. So I don't know, maybe this does work out like people like X-Force are saying. I just think trying to analyze things on the super short time frames is hard. But it's possible we get something like this. Which is kind of what Bitcoin's doing. It'd be nice, instead of this choppy, grindy price action, if we saw something more vertical, like we had before the last breakout. That's the price action that we're waiting for. Again, just a reminder, Bitcoin has this CME gap at 117, so maybe it at least makes its way up there. But on a relative basis against everything else, Litecoin looks ready. At least Litecoin's in the green against everything here. And it is possible that even if Bitcoin or the rest of the market goes sideways or slightly down, Litecoin could have its moment. Bitcoiners are pretty trapped. It's weird. There's like 250 million people that have price exposure to Bitcoin, but if they all try to use or take possession, it'd take like 2 years for them to, for the last portion to get their coins. So yeah, Bitcoin maxis are gonna be sad eventually. I thought it was funny earlier today. I was just reading these comments. I saw this guy, which I've long thought that, I mean, Bitcoin is fundamentally the most overvalued it's ever been in history, off of institutional speculation, big money speculation. And I know they have no use for it, and I know they don't know what it actually is for. And all that air should eventually come out. But the amount of coping in the comments, like people just getting mad. Why would you get mad at someone else's opinion? If someone says Litecoin's going to zero, it doesn't trigger me. But all these people are just hating on him. This is crazy. There's like a million comments. Look how many people. But all the Bitcoiners are stupid. All these people don't even know what they're buying. It's like endless. It's like forever. All these people buying Bitcoin, not even knowing what it is. It's like, this is the biggest bubble in history. It's like 1,000 comments. They do have a lot to lose, NVK. Yeah, why would you hate someone else's opinion? I don't know. It is crazy. Master is Master was telling me something earlier about like the LTC fee level mooned here recently above the recent highs. I don't think it really means anything, but it is interesting. The way to break out in LTC fees. I keep going back to this LTC Doge chart because I see this pattern all the time. It looks ready. And I think it's gonna move 10x against Doge within months once it breaks out. And LTC BTC is just hanging on here. This is that like little 1-2-1-2 type initial setup. Should go vertical out of this. Looks really bullish on CMF on this time frame, on the 3-day time frame. Let's look at Coinbase because it's more accurate. I don't know, it's so crazy to me. I've never seen 2.5, 3 years of building bullish divergence on CMF before. It didn't happen on XRP, only after price moved. Let's check wave basis real quick. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so I think either we break out right now or make a lower high here, come down, and then full ascend. Either way, I think this, we're either a week or two away or a month from fully sending. I hope it's the former. Litecoin deserves to be in the spotlight for a little bit. Are gonna start a new 3-month candle at the end of this month. Hopefully this 3-monthly candle closes above 140. Then the next should get a, I'd say if it does, this next 3-month candle is over 1,000%. Let's make a bet. 1,000% 3-month candle if this closes above 140. I haven't checked hash ribbons in a while. A lot of people used to follow this, and I think it has been historically accurate. It did give a buy signal back here, and it isn't even close to crossing under into like forced minor selling. But it has worked. I mean, if you bought Bitcoin anytime after this triggered a buy signal, worked pretty well. check CoinGlass real quick and look at the open interest funding rates. Funding rates for Litecoin actually came down. All the way down, almost negative here. And price didn't make a lower low. And open interest as a percent of market cap is still really high, 10%, with half of those being short. I just let's get some positive news event that can catalyze a short squeeze of 5% of the market cap. See how the other charts look. Yeah, Litecoin has one of the lowest funding rates out of all these coins. Lower than Bitcoin. Oh, it's about the same as ETH. What about LTC shorts on Bitfinex? Just going sideways. What about longs? They decreased quite a bit a few weeks back. Interesting. I don't put too much weight into that because it's relatively small volumes. And I know the XRP Bitfinex traders dumped right before the rally. BCH is on the cusp of breaking this. I don't understand it. I don't understand how Bitcoin Cash has a higher market cap than Litecoin. The market is silly. Because it does 5% of Litecoin's, has 5% of Litecoin's monetization, and the median transaction values are lower. Litecoin actually passed Bitcoin in median transaction values recently, and Bitcoin only did 400k transactions, so about 2x out of Litecoin's. Hardest money ever? Yeah, whatever. It's a meme. So I don't know. I feel like we're at a point of indecision here for the whole market. I think a lot of traders are giving mixed opinions. One guy that has been relatively accurate recently, I didn't read this, just posted something about being similar to 2017 still. Thinks we're going to 40% dominance. I don't know. I feel like we go to all-time lows. This should be like a descending triangle. I think over the long term, Bitcoin dominance is going to go way lower. Adam and Eve on the 1 hour and 4 hour on LTC. I don't see it. I see like a mini inverse head and shoulders. I guess you could call this sharp pullback and then rounded bottom as an Adam and Eve. Kind of. But still, to me, it looks like a running flat correction from the highs here. Just looks like a corrective move higher. And then 5 waves down. But all this price action just looks choppy and grindy. But the impulse, if it does move, can start from anywhere. Doesn't have to start at the absolute bottom. Could just rip from here. So hard to know. I feel like short-term price predictions are 50-50. But I do think we bottomed against Ethereum. No way. Either Ethereum dumps or Litecoin's gonna pump from here. Still a lot of money in the stock market to rotate. Crypto still hasn't made like mainstream headlines. It should. In a little bit. Nice, LTC 84. Hope you're doing well. I mean, I know everyone stares at the chart. It's fun. But I've always just had this high time frame perspective. I think that's all that really matters. Hardly anyone wants to try to trade short-term time frames. And I still think the setup for Litecoin is similar to the best performing alts of each cycle. Whether you look at Doge, which is nearly identical to the price structure of Litecoin. Here, whoops, no, just deleted it. Or XRP from 2017. It's just interesting. What the heck? I never would take a price fractal on its own as evidence of, like, it would never be enough evidence for me to buy something. But it is interesting to me that the price structure is so similar. You just kind of align the top and bottom. Send it to 13K. Anyone else surprised Treasury coins didn't dump hard on that NASDAQ news today? What was the news? I don't remember. I really haven't been paying attention to news, but I didn't see anything. But the Dogecoin fractal, you guys can see it's pretty much the same as Litecoin's price structure. And then same with XRP here. Although Litecoin's had one more pullback. Oops. I don't know, pretty similar anyways. These, this consolidation around the mid-range of this range. And then a move above the highs, one more retracement. Before full sending. I don't know why in cryptocurrency markets this has always happened. It's like the assets that consolidate for the longest time in this tight range end up being the best performers. I think charts can tell you some part of the picture, but the heaviest weight variables for me being bullish are one, the sentiment versus reality. So we know what Litecoin is. We know it's Bitcoin, the second Bitcoin chain to be monetized, and we know the network effects, how network effects work in money. The dominant chains will become more dominant. Just like Bitcoin early on, because these decentralized networks cost more the more people that use them. So once blocks are full, then you can get a second chain that can become dominant. That's exactly what's happened with Litecoin. But there would be no need for a third one until Litecoin's blocks are full. And so that's why Dogecoin and all the other proof of work chains have not grown at all in adoption. I mean, Litecoin was first. It's the oldest alternative to Bitcoin with the same security architecture. That was seen as a weakness, and it's still kind of seen as a weakness. And even Fidelity still points out that Litecoin's could be used as a test net. It's so old. It's such an old narrative. It's not a test net. It does 50% of Bitcoin's daily transactions, and these are not fake. They're not spam. This is consistent growth, very slow network effect growth that's been building for a decade. And you can see the clear catalyst as to why. It's just Bitcoin becoming expensive. So I know, like with 99.9% confidence, that this transaction activity is organic and real. It's sustainable. And this process will continue until Litecoin challenges Bitcoin in dominance. Maybe surpasses it on the monetary side, and eventually the narrative will catch up with that reality. People will figure out, like they always do, the market will get to the truth eventually. It's so distracted because everything's so inflated, driven by memes and narratives. But we know eventually that's true. And so if you believe, like I do, that Bitcoin will be relevant long term, Litecoin's like buying Bitcoin at $400 right now. And just like before, nobody wanted to buy it at $400 really. So that's why there's 20 people in here. Nobody's interested yet. Call it organic coin. Yeah, it has the smallest speculative community, but the largest network effects. It's weird. It's so weird. All the other chains that you see hyped, like Solana and meme coins. What's that? Charge this. Okay. I gotta charge this thing. How do I plug this in? Okay. Yeah, like Solana, meme coin, even partially Ethereum. Like their network effects are very loose, is how I would describe it. Like they can vanish pretty quickly, especially stuff like Solana where it's all just Ponzi hype. And I think even with Ethereum, like I was talking earlier with Master, Ethereum's network effects can get destroyed just because it's a political money, and if the government decides you can't, we won't let you do XYZ on Ethereum anymore, like the market that's built on top of it will just disappear. And we know, at least with proof of work coins, yeah, probably if that happened, the market would sell off, but at least there's a path of resistance where the market can overcome whatever type of censorship or laws that are placed on top of them. Nobody needs to know about nothing burgers. Yeah, nobody needs to know. Eventually people need to know. If nobody knows, that's my whole thing. That's like part of my motivation. I feel like if nobody ever is educated on what the actual real point of cryptocurrency is, it might never succeed. It might just always stay irrelevant. I think that's what governments would want, is just like trust these centralized exchanges, and then governments can write a rule or a law that makes them add monetary policy to the chain, and then everyone doesn't even know what it does. They just update it, they think it's Bitcoin. They just sneak inflation in there. And they pitch it as good, right? Just like they do right now. Like, you need 2% inflation. It's good for an economy. People just let it happen. The only way that doesn't happen is people actually know what they're doing when they run Bitcoin or Litecoin. And they actually resist. All these Litecoin transaction starts look like they want to go vertical. Which is like consolidating right against resistance, right against its all-time high. Forever. It's been like a year and a half. Buy silver and gold. People are buying silver and gold now because the price is going up. I just don't buy things I don't believe will be remonetized, especially at a $2 trillion market cap. Or with gold, 20 trillion. If we really go back to using gold and silver, man, it'd be very hard in a digital economy where you're transacting with people around the world. You can't actually use it. And the government can come in with another gold standard type scam. And people trust it, and we just repeat the whole process over again. It just won't work. I mean, if you're gonna have sound money in a digital economy, you can't use physical money. But the chart looks bullish. It's probably gonna break out. What are you guys all doing right now? It's Thursday, September 4th. Did you guys think we were going to break out sooner? Like me? This waiting game has been so annoying on most. How's everyone doing mentally? What was the website I used to check all these Litecoin stats on? I think it was Into the Block, but it got removed. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. It's so I can't comprehend, like, if you believe in permissionless money and you see, how would you not? I don't see how nobody else understands Bitcoin isn't scalable, and the way it scales horizontally, and you have 7 years of evidence to prove that. How am I the only one in the world that saw this would happen 8 years ago? I'm not that smart. But I don't know how nobody else in the world, I mean, people see it now. Like there's like Litecoin community people that see it now, but how is it so small? How can Fidelity write a crypto report that's written like that has hundreds of mistakes in it? That makes Litecoin in some ways sound better than it is, and a lot of ways worse. I don't get it. I guess everyone just learns from someone else, like secondhand information, and they trust it. It's the only thing I think. Coin metrics, is it? I never really looked at their website. Is it .com or .io? Do I have to create an account? Alright, I pulled up your link. Okay. Search LTC metrics. Well, we already can see this. Why does it only block count mean block size? These are sometimes interesting. Let's look at 180 day volatility. How do we look at the full scope of this? It's been an extremely low volatility time for Litecoin for years. Let's go back. I wish we could see the adjusted NVT ratio. Is this adjusted? I don't know, it's hard to read Litecoin's network value to transaction ratio because of the messed up reporting and the on-chain total transaction volume. Usually this moves down in previous cycles when the market's topping, just because you're seeing a lot of coins move to exchanges to sell. We haven't seen that. I mean, maybe this is adjusted. Because this was the top. I remember a ton of coins moving, and it touched this bottom line, which marked previous tops. In 2021. Can we overlay the price on top of this? Can I add? Litecoin price? Maybe not. Why does it just have 1 day? Try market cap. And can I change this to log scale or something? Or like... I don't know. I don't know how to use these charts. Frick. Please. I want this to be easy to read. Yeah, it looks like we haven't had that much selling recently at the highs. If you're just looking solely at this, where we did in 2020 or 2017 and 2021. Interesting. So it's never really topped when this MDT ratio, the 90-day moving average of it, has been around where it's at right now. Okay, thanks Master for the link. Oh, I wasn't reading the comments. Maybe I'll go back to that one more time. Check out some more Litecoin metrics. The MDT ratio should be moving consistently down though as Litecoin gains monetary market share and growth and monetization. So that this historical like relationship shouldn't work as well over time. I don't even know what this is. Network distribution factor. Let's look at this 90-day active supply in 2 year, 1 year. Might be interesting. I want to delete Bitcoin price. I want Litecoin price up here, but we know the topping dates. I need to read how they calculate this. Yeah, how do they even... I need to read the definition of active supply. And what explains these large drop-offs? Like 10 million coins? Oh, maybe because someone bought 10 million coins 2 years exactly prior to this? Or sold 10 million coins? Without knowing exactly what this is, how do I read about it? It's hard to even do analysis on it. I used to look at all these on-chain stats quite frequently. At least the ones that I felt were important or meaningful. But I don't know how much you can get out of that specific stat. Let's keep looking. It's been a long time. Well, I wish we could just look again at long-term holder supply. Do they have that here? I don't think so. I want to just see all the coins that haven't moved in a year, or miner reserves as well. But Coinmetrics doesn't have that data. It's just so much harder to read the Litecoin data now since of MWeb, or whatever happened after 2021. It's impossible to filter out what's real and what's not. Because it was so easy to tell in 2021 when you had this huge spike on May 14th, and knowing that it went to an exchange, that Litecoin, I remember people talking about this, and I remember commenting on Aldo's post, Lighthouse, like, oh, maybe this is the top. Because everyone was like bragging about this, as this is so bullish for Litecoin. Like, I think the opposite. And I also remember in 2020 following whale alerts and seeing so many coins being moved off exchanges for Bitcoin that I thought we're gonna have a vertical rally. But now it's just so hard. This data is all inaccurate. That we have to probably rely on technical analysis more so than on-chain. All I know is that this type of consolidation, specifically within crypto, has always led to the large expansions. And I think the narrative and sentiment can change quickly. And when people figure it out that it is Bitcoin the second time, buying it at $1,000 will seem cheap to them. Because Bitcoin's at 100K and adjusted for supply, it'd be like buying Bitcoin at 4K if you're buying Litecoin at $1,000. People should be doing these relative value comparisons, especially if Litecoin's doing equal amount of transactions. they should be valued. It should not be valued at this much of a discount to Bitcoin. So you could see large money institutions diversifying. But we'll see, guys. We just need to wait a few more days or weeks. Finally, we'll get volatility expansion. LTC, sir. Yeah, I remember we looked at this together. This is like rich versus poor. Less than 1/10,000th of the current supply relative to the top 1%. But less than 1/10,000th of the current supply. What's the USD value of that right now? What's 1/10,000th? How many Litecoin? So 8.4? Or no? Yeah. It's like who has it? Well, not quite, because circulating supply is 70 million. It's like anyone with under 7 coins is included in the less than 1/10,000th of the current supply in top 1%. Yeah, interesting. This to me looks like retail dumping on institutions. Yeah, Bitcoin's rolling over. There's just no volume for Bitcoin. It's crazy. I don't. Binance, the biggest exchange in the world, in 2021, crazy volumes for BTC. Now look at this on a relative basis. It's like a few percent of what it was. Similar on Coinbase. Litecoin volumes are pretty similar. This is about to explode. I hope you guys are ready. It might lag because my upload's resuming here. Yeah, the volume stuff is is insane. But I don't know. I guess I've never had many IRL friends that were buying Bitcoin early. I'm like the only person I know in my real life, in my real life social circle, that was interested in crypto early on. But I wonder, for you guys, like, you still have friends that are buying Bitcoin here or excited about Bitcoin? Yeah, it's possible, Master. If we could impulse whenever off these lows here. This looks like it's rounding out a bottom. To me, it's taking a while. It's been 10 days. Yeah, stack sats used to be like really popular. It's such a stupid meme, but for fun, let's like look at Jack Mallers. I don't like to be mean to people, but man, this guy annoyed me so much in 2021. Getting on stage and just lying to everybody. He was always like saying Strike could be sent over Tor network and it was totally decentralized. Now he just runs like a giant casino. He's just like an exchange. That's all he ever was. Oh, that's all Strike ever was. Like a bank, exchange, casino operator. But he was trying to appeal to all the maxis by lying on stage. And it worked, and everyone hated me for calling it out at the time, but man, he has 500,000 followers. Insane. But I haven't heard like stacking sats in Bitcoin. I feel like it was way more popular in 2017, and then 2021 was really popular, but slightly less. Eventually, people are just think you're super dumb. I think in 5 years after Bitcoin gets crushed in price and goes sideways for as long as Litecoin did the last 8 years, there's gonna be nobody left. No one. 2 weeks Shroot, what's up? How are you doing? Convert the Botox into gold or silver? I don't know, Sonny. You should decide yourself. It's your money. You know what's best. Let's destroy XRP now. Reverse this whole downside from November and then run to new highs. Are all the influencers making videos partially because they're paid or just because they get a lot of views? Let's watch this. Can you guys
I want
hear
to
it?
explain this in the fastest and easiest way possible, as this has really been the talk of the town here recently. We've heard big XRPL builders recently
Can you guys
talking
hear
about
this?
XRP going to $1,000 in 5 years. Some call that FUD, believe it will happen much sooner. We'll see an overnight $10,000 move or $25,000 move based off different theories out there. I want to put it all up, wrap it up, talk to you about the math, and simplify this in a quick video. All I ask is if you do like talking about XRP, click that like button and let's get into it. Now, I first want to say thank you to all supporters that have subscribed to this channel. As we recently hit 60,000 subscribers, I am so humbled and appreciative of you all, whether you've been here for years or even new here today. I appreciate you so much. The fact is, study this thousands of hours, but there's many of you out there that are experts as well, and I am going to call us crazy. Those that are going to call us talking about Swift. Are you talking about the builders coming on the XRPL, the use cases, and so forth? And he essentially said, yes, the Swift situation, and I think it's more clear right now than ever that XRP is going to take a massive portion of Swift payments, which we're going to get into the numbers in just a moment. It's more clear than ever, and they're very reluctant to see it, and that is a very big mistake on their end. Right now, Swift, and I pulled this up on AI, processes roughly 150 trillion annually in cross-border transactions, and some sources believe it's as high as 1.25 quadrillion. So if just in 1 year we capture 14%, which we remember that is what Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, says he projects, we're looking at a $297 to $595 XRP just off 1 year. Now, what a lot of people get in trouble in thinking of with market cap is, one, they don't factor in market cap multiplier, right? And we know based off the market cap multiplier, if we move in hundreds of billions in volume, in net inflows into the market cap, it will mean tens of trillions and market cap moving up. While it's very important that those that continuously talk about market cap actually understand what moves market cap and the market cap multiplier, also they will say that the market cap is already very much so matured, which just simply is not true. We're in the infancy stages, early stages of cryptocurrency still. This market is very young. But yet when we see these big money managers come in and flocks, and they will very soon, with large sums of money, they're not going to be, as this big XRPL developer said recently, they're not going to be looking all the way down the list as some trash meme coin that no one's ever heard of. They want high quality digital assets. They want the likes of XRP. And XRP is very well known within the finance circles, within Wall Street and so forth. We recently heard Canary Capital CEO say that exact same thing. And so they're going to be looking at digital assets like XRP that has been...
Why are you still in the car, Mark? Well, what's funny to me... Okay, one, the adoption of like a credit layer network. Okay, like, say it was XRP's ledger. I think all these guys assume that means they just buy that equivalent amount of XRP first to send the transaction, but I don't think that's actually, it wouldn't make sense. I think if someone's going to use XRP's ledger, they don't need the token. They might make some profits, like if it was like Swift or Visa, right? They charge a transaction fee. So if you move, I don't know, $10 million over Swift, they probably charge like $30. So it's these credit layer networks are not worth what they're like anywhere close to what they're implying. They're always talking about, oh, if it took away a portion of Swift, it would be worth crazy amount because it moves $100 trillion a year or something. But the actual market cap of a company, like if Swift was a publicly traded company, and well, you can look at Visa, right? It's worth like $400 billion dollars, but they charge a percentage on those transactions, not like a flat rate. XRP would be worth far less, especially if it's going to offer a more efficient, like cost competitive thing. If you actually believe that, and then it was adopted, the profits to XRP holders would be so minimal. That's what's primarily annoying to me. They talk about all these numbers like, oh man, Swift processes 500 trillion a year. That means the market cap could go not just to 500 trillion, but you have to think about liquidity or whatever he was saying, the money multiplier. And no, it's not at all true. One, there's zero evidence of any adoption of XRP since 2017 because it's been the same thing, the same type of people saying the same thing. And there's no proven evidence that it's ever been adopted. The price has just gone up and got people excited about the same narrative repeated a million times. And then there's this huge amount of like financial literacy between the difference in credit layer networks versus actual money. And they're like, they're not comparing this correctly. Right, XRP is already worth $200 billion in market cap. Visa, which is like the largest payment processor, credit card processor in the world, has a market cap of 676 billion. And I think these larger, like if you made Swift or Fedwire public companies, they charge way less fees. They're not percent based. They're like $10 a transaction for people to move millions of dollars. So they're not making that much money on these large value transfers like Visa's making by processing millions and millions of transactions and taking 5%. So yeah, I don't know. I can't watch it. It makes me makes me kind of annoyed. Like nobody has shown me any evidence of why they would use it, why politicians would just allow a competitor into a industry that's pretty much run by the government itself. Like these Swift international payments, why would they use XRP's ledger over what they already know works and they trust? That works efficient for the traditional system right now. Like what improvement are they making on that? Like the whole financial system on the back end is politically controlled by design. They want to approve every transaction. And decide who can send money where. I don't know. It's just not exciting at all. Credit layer networks never have been worth anywhere close to the money. Right? Visa, the largest credit layer network in the world, worth 700 billion versus the largest money in the world, dollars. What's its market cap? 150, 200 trillion. It's tiny, and that's how you should think about these cryptocurrency networks. The dominant monies will be worth 1,000 times more than any layer 2 payment network. Canary Capital said something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Those guys at Canary. Yeah, that video has 14K views. $1,000 XRP price. They think it's going to 100 trillion in market cap when there's no credit layer network similar that's even close. Swift probably, if it was a company, would be worth $100 billion. XRP is already worth more than that. It's a meme coin. That was like 24 hours ago. World Liberties meme coin. Trump. Spies all those guys. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out. Again, just like yesterday, we're waiting. Probably grinding out at least temporary bottom. Either we moon straight from here. Probably early next week. Or we have to chop around a little bit more. But based on all the metrics that we have, it looks healthy. Send it. Somebody just go market by $100 million worth of Litecoin real quick. Take one for the team. Ask your dad for some money. Job City. Yeah, let me see if my IRL thing uploaded. Oh, nice. No, it's 55%. I actually thought the Brooklyn Bridge walk looked pretty good. I'm glad I recorded it. Like, the camera quality is pretty nice. If I upload straight from the SD card, it looks way better than when I was streaming it. Let's look at cumulative volume delta. This looks at like spot buying versus selling. I don't want candles though. Sometimes it is bullish if you see more market selling, like lower lows in CBD as price makes higher lows. Is basically limit orders are being placed in here to absorb this market selling. I've never found it that useful anyways. Regardless, I rarely pay attention to the lower time frame stuff that a lot of traders pay attention to. What's next, friends? I want this upload to finish so I can show you guys. Alright, good night, MBK. Rest well, sir. Well, I want to know what you guys think of this. I was messing around, seeing if I could premiere a video at the same time I have this 24/7 stream going. And it actually worked. But I can talk over this video. I want to play it real quick while we're just thinking of something to do. See what you guys think. I think you can still hear me.
2:43 a.m. The city is empty, but the lights are still green, like it's waiting for something, like it knows.
A lot of times I would just drive at night.
I take the same route every night, left at the Shell station, past the deli with the flickering open sign, even though it never is. Up the ramp, onto the overpass. No music, no noise, just the hum, the curve, the climb. Below, the highway splits. Tail lights drift like ticker tape red, fading into black.
My stream lagging.
I've seen this pattern before, the stretch of road where no one's supposed to be. But I'm here. Not to get somewhere, but to know when somewhere is about to matter. There's no rush, no destination.
One sec. Is the stream lagging right now? Because I'm uploading this video? Or is it fine? Let me know. Yeah, it's lagging. Frick. Laggy. God damn it. Maybe I pause this. I'm gonna pause this upload for a sec. Can I pause it? It says I can cancel, but I don't want to cancel because it's almost done. I wanted to show you guys a sneak preview of the price videos. Not good. Well, I don't know what to do. I need to finish this upload. I should have just waited to stream. Is my voice lagging? It's like at times it's like a chipmunk. Well, damn. Oh well. It's taking forever because I'm streaming, so I'm uploading this at the same time. I wanted to show part of this price video. But it's gonna lag. So that makes me not want to do it. Wait, reverse puberty because of the internet bandwidth? How do I get a better connection? Can this just pause? Alright, maybe I just end the stream for a bit. Let this upload. And then I'll come back.